put together the compilation of data in an effort to provide this as a way that our water customers can look at the data and understand what has provoked this advisory and what keeps us in this advisory until we are able to get, as Peter mentioned, 2 clean data sets to be able to have us lift this advisory. I want to also point out there's a note on the bottom of your first sheet that states that this is not all of the data that was collected, so I don't want that to be a misconception. We have a lot more data than this, but this was the data that specifically was above any sort of health advisory, which is what triggered us into these notices and keeps us in this notice as of today. I am pleased to report, though, and as you flip through the data sets behind the first page, you will see that all of the sites had below detection limits except for one site within our water distribution system, and at that last site the detection limit was very, very low. So that indicates that these toxins are indeed being removed out from the system, so that is a good sign. But I also want to be clear that we still have another day worth of data to receive that will, indeed we need to be able to lift us from this advisory. So while the current results are good, we still need that second day of results to be able to confirm that the water advisory can indeed be lifted. I know that there was a lot of comment and inquiry regarding kind of looking at the trending of the data, which is why the additional pages were created for you. So you can look to see how the cyanotoxins at different locations within the system have responded and be able to understand, kind of the trending at the different locations, and that this is a very dynamic changing situation, and so that is why the 2 data sets are needed in order to confirm that the water quality has indeed improved to such a level that we can lift the advisory. We have staff that are continuing to sample. We have staff that are in the watershed today. We will continue to sample through the weekend until we are able to lift this advisory. We will continue to do daily sampling. And I do want to note that I did receive a phone call from our watershed technician earlier this morning, and there is another bloom that has formed up in the Tumble Creek area just east of Mongold in Detroit Reservoir. So we are keeping an eye on that new bloom formation. We will be pulling samples from that location and also locations around the lake, and paying attention again to what's happening in the Santiam River, what's coming down to our treatment facility, and also ultimately how our finished water is responding to that. And with that, I will hand it back over to Mr. Howard.